Sagan.
As a landlord, all you do is pretty much sit around and collect your rents. You know, you have nothing else to do. So, I mean, why not, spend all your time chasing around one or two tenants trying to get them to pay their rent, you have nothing better to do, right? It's not like you got a job or anything. So, today, I want to talk about collecting rents, First off, you need to make rules on this, and you need to be firm. If you don't be firm and push your rules, tenants aren't going to pay on time. They're going to do it. You're going to have tenants paying late every month after every month. So you got to really be firm and stick to your guns on this. When I first started, I was pretty young. My first duplex, I was at 23. I bought a fourplex and another duplex at 25. So immediately I already had several rental properties, and I was actually going around and collecting rent from my tenants. And within a year and a half, I was like, this is for the birds, I'm working a full-time job. I also was going to college full-time, and I was dumping a lot of money into these investments. So they weren't making me any money, and I was getting burnt out. So I think if you're going to be managing your own properties, or you're going to start managing properties for other people, be a management company, the first thing you need to do is get paying rent under control, because this will definitely make or break you as a landlord. If you're spending more than a week of your time trying to get tenants to pay on time and running around chasing them, collecting rent, it's just not going to be worth it for you. You're going to be hating what you're doing. So right away, you need to make it where you're not running around collecting rent. Again, the first year I was doing it, if you're running around collecting rent, they're going to make it seem like the reason why they didn't pay is because you didn't come and collect it. Even though you've been calling, when it's time for them to pay rent, they don't answer their phones. They make up tons of excuses, because now you're having to talk to them to get paid. So eliminate that stuff. I even had a guy one time, I was like, hey, you need to pay rent. He's like, yeah, come over and get it. I'm here right now. Come and get it. I immediately got my vehicle and went and collect rent, and they're gone, It's like after this kind of stuff happens month after month, more and more people do it because you're lenient. It's going to be insane, guys. So as soon as possible, maybe if you have one or two properties, you might be able to be fine with it. But once you start getting too many, just a few, as soon as possible, though, you need to get it where they're delivering the rent or sending it to you. Also, after that, my next thing was stop accepting cash. Here recently, I have a manager now. My sister manages my property. She does the dealing with the tenants, and she collects rents. Up until then, my sister has been accepting cash. A lot of tenants, the majority of them are going to want to pay in cash. And we actually had a family member break into the house and steal some money. So now we actually don't do the business with money. When I was still managing, I actually had a P.O. box, which made everybody send a check or money order. So I would say go that route and just get rid of letting them pay cash at all. Not only that, is if they're paying with a check or money order, they already have a receipt. And if you have a manager, you can track the money for a little bit. I mean, if you have a bad manager, they could be taking some money out of your hands, or saying they didn't get paid, or they had an apartment vacant for a month when actually they already had someone in there and got paid, if they're paying in cash. The management can easily take that kind of stuff. So if it's all in checks or money order, they have to deposit into your account. So you're going to catch all that. It's going to keep that stuff from happening. Money orders, I don't accept MoneyGrams, mainly because about 3 years ago, my bank stopped accepting it. I guess MoneyGram had some problems with, some finance problems. And also on top of that is that you have to go and cash it at Walmart, and you have to give them like 3 or 4 days for it to even clear. So after they make it, you can't even cash it for a few days. And then it takes about an hour on average to cash it. You have to go in there, and sometimes there's a line, and even if there's no line, I've been there sometimes that it's taking them at least easy 5 tries. They have to call in and run that number, and it takes them so many times. and that's if the system's up. So I mean, you can see that I've already cashed enough MoneyGrams from tenants that it's just not worth it. So I don't deal with the MoneyGrams anymore. I've had a few people pay with PayPal. There's an option on if they're gonna pay it or you're gonna pay it, and I always tell them they have to pay the fees. But when they actually send it to me, they always have it where I pay the fees. So then there's a problem there. I don't have too many people paying that way. Most people are paying in checks or money order. What other problems have I had with it? Again, with paying, you have to be firm. What I also do is on the 1st, I have rent due. Then on the 5th is when it's late. And on the 6th is when I actually on the 5th, I have a 5-day grace period. On the 6th is when I add a late fee. And up until now, I actually was pretty lenient on the late fee. As long as it wasn't a 1 or 2 times in a row, is I didn't charge. But once it was the 3rd time in a row that they paid late, then I would make the firm. But now that I'm going to start doing the certified mail on the 6th. So now I'm going to always, because I'm going to incur some costs, so I'm going to always be charging the late fees from this point on out. But if you don't, you let a tenant start slipping and you don't charge them, or you start letting them pay late every month, they'll start doing it every month, and it'll get later and later. And the next thing you know, you're going to be forced into an eviction, or you're going to be pushed into letting them having more time before you have the eviction, which is going to cost you more money. So one of the things that you're going to have to learn is that this is a business, and either you're going to have to be firm and get into this, or you're going to be working and doing a lot of stuff for free that you're not going to get paid for. It's just, if you can't be that person that's going to follow the rules and get rid of these bad tenants, or be firm and make some of these tenants pay on time, the real estate or any real estate management is going to be a hard, tough business for you to succeed in. So anyways, I hope this is a good video on letting you guys know that you guys need to have them sending you the rent somewhere, and also don't accept cash. So those are my advice and helpful hints. See you guys later.